This is a trade I took at 1300 hours New York time. We had these candles right here, basically Chad candles on the 1 hour. So that's basically this swing here, 50%. And here, from here to here, we actually went to 618 and had a reaction here. And just for curiosity, CVD has a divergence. Lower low, higher low. This low is higher than that. We make a lower low. The Master Chi candles are here, and this is our swing. And for the last several hours, we've been steadily coming down until we did pass the 0.50 from this swing, and the 618 down here on the hourly chart. We made several. This is a 2-hour point of interest that's several hours old, and these are several hours old. They being engaged, but they haven't fully gone to liquidity, the draw on liquidity. So the powers of these POI haven't necessarily been used up, but these POIs, the golden hour was way back here. So it's been several hours, but they're still virgins as we've not come and engaged them. And even this 2-hour POI is mostly okay. We're still coming down. So anyways, at 1300 Eastern, our multiple time frame SysD higher time frame trends had 2 ups and 2 downs. This indicator right here, SysD multi-time frame trend. So let's do our grading. We have most of the components. We have 2 ups and 2 downs. So that's not necessarily an A+ for the multi-time frame trend, but we have these Chad candles, or this one series of candles forming a Chad, and we've been coming down in a corrective manner, and now we've accelerated and we've had a reaction here with rejection candles looking like this on the 1 minute, and the 15-second chart looks like this. And so now we're going to scroll forward. This is the 1 minute. We're looking for, see if we can sweep this low and do some sort of SysD or inverse FEG. So ideally we do come down, and we do, and this has a potential of sweeping. And so let's scroll forward. Okay, we're getting a little bit of rejection. We're starting to see some volume come in on the 1 minute. Oh, and this is where I did get in. Okay, so we're gonna back up a little bit. We back up to this entry point. That's the 1 minute. We're sweeping, and we have a hammer. And the 15-second also sweeps, and then sweeps this as well, and has a good looking strong close candle with a little bit of volume, not a whole lot. So, and then on the 1 hour we hit this 0.62 618, and this is a very good looking impulse wave with the correction. So that's actually really beautiful, because all this is corrective. And on the 1 minute, it looked like this. We had the move, and then we had the two-step retracement, and then another lower low. So lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. So all this can be liquidity for this draw on liquidity over here. Like this. This is our draw on liquidity, this high right here. And it's looking good. It really has a good looking draw on liquidity. And on the 15 minute, we have this fair value gap, beautiful rejection. So everything is looking A+. We're gonna rate this 15 second as A+ looking right now. But you know, this is the 15 second, and there's some theory that 15 second could change at any moment, and that may or may not be true. So the 1 minute with this hammer and the 15 second. So at this point, after this candle closure and the 1 minute hammer and the sweep is very important. Sweep of liquidity here. And enter right here. And it does going our way. And then at this point I had a decision to make. Do I put it to break even, or do I leave it alone? I know for our long-term trading plan, we want to leave it alone. So I don't touch it, even though it comes down to here. Almost coming to our stop, but not quite. Actually makes an equal low even. So that was close. And then it goes up again. So at this point, I'm still supposed to leave it alone, but guess what? I'd metal with it and get stopped out, and boom, go straight to target. So really, for our long-term longevity and ease of trading, we want to just leave it alone. If it stops out, it stops out, because there's going to be times like this that makes up for it. Remember, based on the stats that Navi did, we have a 54% win rate. So the whole idea of doing the 1 to 1.5 is that we can just turn off the computer and leave it alone and let it go to target, and that's really what's going to make our trading easier. And as you can see, messing about with it doesn't make it any better. The 1.5 risk reward is a nice compromise between the 1.1 and the 2 to 1. So really we want to build our mind stronger and have more of these examples and more stats where we're just going to be committing to the 54% win rate, because this was unnecessary to get stop out at break even, and it certainly could have been a loss. But remember, we have a 54% win rate, and at 1.5 risk reward, that's a winning plus EV play. So at this point, we just want to reiterate that the 1 hour looks good. That's a really good looking impulse wave, and we can read the sideways retracement with a slow drift down. That slow drift down into the 618 down here is just such beautiful confirmation. And then this sweep of this 1 minute candle was what made me confident to enter right here at the close of that candle which on the 1 minute was over here, like that, looking like that at the time. And then the sweep looks good, sweeping is good, and this closure is good. What about volume? A little bit of volume coming in. What about volume here? A little bit of volume, not a whole lot. And the CVD doesn't really, CVD just kind of tracks along. So not really anything there in terms of the CVD other than the previously shown divergence. So take a mental picture and remember this rejection candle here on the 1 minute, and this sweep, and these candles, and the 15-second. So this 1 hour pattern is this 1 hour pattern. This nice impulse wave with the sideways coming down. So that's the 1 hour. And obviously the 15-minute has the fair value gaps. And really what I want to capture most of all are these candles right at the entry model, because that's where I have the most trouble, is picking out what is an A+ entry model. So that's the 1 minute and that's the 15-second. And so on the 1 minute, the most significant thing is this sweep and this hammer right there. A little bit of volume, not a whole lot. So right here, that red candle is this red candle here, and this hammer, and the rest of it goes up. So in terms of wiki wicks, we have these wicks. We don't have the other times where there's a bunch of wicks. There's some wicks here, but we also have this wick up here. But we have these wicks that we could put into the whole picture. It's a summation of these things. It's not anything by itself. So we have some of these wicks. We have a little bit of volume. We have definitely this candle that's fairly important. And we have this wick a little bit later, which doesn't come into play right at the time of entry, because our entry is pretty aggressively early, or pretty early on, or pretty much in time. Time was the essence. Time was of the essence right there. And we do have some of these wicks. We have this nice looking candle on the 15-second, and this strong closure with a little bit of volume. And this is that other wick right there on the 1 minute right here. So that wouldn't have entered into the picture at the time of entry, because it was looking more like this for the entry. So just a real abstract, let's get it done drawing on the 15-second. We have this low being soaked up by this hammer, and the earlier swing, this right here getting swept here, and this red candle being swept, and we have this is the key hammer candle right there, and then the nice closure. So we did capture that in our drawing, our pencil drawing. So I'll keep this card in my card decks, my photo album. So yeah, we're really working hard on internalizing and getting an intuitive feel on these wicks, on these hammers. That's why we're drawing out in pencil, to really put into our muscle memory the sweep and the wicks. Now this particular one didn't have a whole lot of wicks, but still it's the summation of all the little pieces put together. That very critically, at this very moment, is where our decision is made. This is why we're spending all this time drawing this out, putting it in our muscle memory, trying to remember what all it looked like on the 1 hour and the 1 minute. And because we are acting, time is of the essence at the moment of entry, the decisions being made there. The more we can spend time off the charts or off trading hours, drawing these things out, putting into our memory, and time after time, looking at the same setup and standardize our apples to apples comparison from one trade setup to the next trade setup, comparing and getting an intuitive feel on what these wicks mean. These wicks right here, especially something like this. So that's why we're doing all this work. All right, so I'll just off camera finish this card and putting our decks, and then we'll put a screenshot. We'll remember the screenshot. But this was a live trade, an actual trade that I took on my 15 accounts in my prop firm. Yeah, and it looks like there was slippage when I got out. So I got out with negative $17, even though it was supposed to be a break-even stop. But yeah, I should have left it alone. See, another reason we need to learn to leave it alone and just let it stand. That's the way we want to trade. It's a decision. It's not that managing it wouldn't have worked, but we want to choose to trade this way, and we want to learn all the finer points about trading this way and become comfortable just letting it not be messed with. And if it stops out, it stops out. Because remember, it's a 54% win rate per novice data points. All right, that's it. That's it. These wicks, this hammer, that 1 hour.